Hello. You might be wondering how to transform your painful emotions into better states. You might be suffering from trauma and you're trying to heal, but you're facing some deep-seated emotions that are arising, like sadness, shame, fear, guilt, or just a heavy emotional state. And in this video, I want to explain to you how you can transform these emotions into states of mind that are more light, more equanimous, more peaceful, and more relaxed. So this process of transmuting emotions, which are energies, into a more functional state, you could say it's like an alchemy. You're alchemizing these emotions. And this process is really about shining light onto these emotions and learning to make room for them. So if you're facing, for example, a deep sadness, what's going to help transform the sadness into confidence or trust is to be able to hold your attention on the sadness and to make room for it in your body. In order to make room for it, we have to observe the sadness from another point of view than the mental conditioning. It's observing the sadness from awareness, from consciousness. If you remain as the awareness of the sadness instead of the thinker of the sadness, you're going naturally to tap into more space. So the reasons why these emotions are blocked and make your life feel heavy is because there's not enough space. So they cannot flow freely within your body. And there's not enough space because you're contracting yourself in your mind around this emotion. You're making it a problem, or you're judging it, or you're trying to push it away. And when you do this, the emotion doesn't have enough room to flow and express itself. So it gets stuck. And so this is really the art of holding space. And you can practice this and just sitting with yourself, observing inside what emotions arise, like sadness or shame, and being able to not do anything about them, but just remain as the space. Remain as a spacious presence that is here and allowing the emotions to go wherever they want to go and to flow wherever they want to flow. They could go to the head, they could go to the chest, they could go through the arms, and by allowing that to happen, you're starting to transmute these emotions. So that's the foundation of this. That's the technique part of it. Now, this whole process has to be rooted in understanding that everything in life is transforming. Transformation is the nature itself of things. So, a little plant will transform into a tree, a raindrop will transform into a river, and a dead body will transform into nutrients for the soils, for the animals, for the forest. And even at the physical level, the deepest level, the atoms, they also transform all the time. The combination of the atoms transform, and that's how they produce different energy, different matter. So everything is transformation, including your mind, including yourself. You're not the same as the one you used to be 10 years ago, and you're still in transformation constantly. And so sometimes in life we have this idea that I am fixed, I am just myself and that's all. But the truth is that you're constantly evolving, and everything is constantly changing. As much as sometimes there is the sun, sometimes there's the rain, and we have to use this understanding to understand the transmutation of emotions into higher states. Because when you don't understand this, what's going to happen is that you're not going to perceive this from a helpful lens, because you're going to judge the emotion as something that is blocking you, and you're not going to see that you can transform it. But as soon as you see that you can transform an emotion, now the emotion is not a problem anymore, because now you have access to something more powerful than your judgment. You have access to the nature of life itself. And so when we look at emotions from that place of transformation, the question is not anymore, how do I get rid of the emotion? It's not anymore, how do I stop feeling this? How do I stop feeling bad? The question is, what do I have to do in order for the emotion to transform? It's how do I facilitate the transformation of my states? Which is a very different point of view, much more refined, more subtle, and more conscious. And I must say that in order to transform these things, you have to feel them. You cannot, there's no other way. If you want to transform sadness, you have to first feel the sadness. And from that place, a lot of things can happen. And it happens with my clients all the time. And by the way, if you're interested in my work, you can check the links in the description, as I help people heal trauma and I help them on their spiritual path. So the sadness can become something beautiful, a story to tell. It can become a kind of softness. It can become calm. The anger can become a fire for power, a fire for change. The disgust can turn into tasting life. The shame can turn into confidence. And the way to shift like this, the way to make your states shift, is by what I said before. So making room, allowing things to transform, finding how things can transform within yourself, knowing that's the nature of things to change, and really allowing the emotion to take you to where you want to go instead of fighting against it. So for my part, personally, sadness was always very big in my life. It was one of the most difficult emotions to deal with. And over time of working on myself, I discovered that sadness was what I needed. I needed the sadness to lead me to peace. And when I started listening to my sadness and feeling it and allowing it, it started to switch, to transform. Because now I was not fighting against sadness anymore. I was riding the wave of sadness. And there's a deep aliveness in this. There's a deep beauty in this. Your emotions are to be trusted. The reason why you have shame or anger is not because there's something wrong with you. It's because there's an information here. There is something that is touching you deeply. And these emotions, they are not negative emotions. They are showing you the way if you listen to them. If you listen to anger, it might teach you grief. If you listen to shame, it might teach you authenticity. They are just the doors that you can open to go deeper within yourself. And this whole way of perceiving emotions is very healing, because now you're using them as the way to transform. You're working with them instead of working against them. So when you do yoga, when you do bioenergetics or somatics, you're not doing it to remove your emotions. You're doing it to use your body in order to let your emotions speak through you, speak their message, and lead you to the place you want to go to. So as you move your body, and you move with the sadness, and you dance with it, and you let it take shape within you, you're going to naturally transform it. It's a matter of being hand in hand with the emotions, of cooperating with them, of tasting them and discovering where they want to take you. And you can use the body for that. You can use the body as a vessel for the transmutation of these emotions. And everything I say might sound very conceptual, but it's not conceptual, because what I'm inviting you to do is to try it by yourself, to try to apply it on the yoga mat, on a therapy session, wherever you go, in your somatic exercise, to try to let these emotions exist and see for yourself. Because what I'm speaking of is not a theory, it's a direct experience. So if you're watching this video and you're trying to understand with your mind what this means, this is not the point. You're not understanding. I'm not trying to tell you something on the intellectual level. I'm trying to inspire you to look at emotions in a different way. That's all. Now it's up to you to apply that and try for yourself what that means. A big part of healing is about listening to yourself. It's about finding your own way within. And that nobody can teach you. You have to find it. So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope this was helpful, and I hope this will help you transforming pain into gold, because that's really how it works. And if you do what I just shared, you might be very surprised how an emotion can actually be your ally and not your enemy. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.